Well, hello there, my fetching feathered friends, and welcome to What's the Quack. I'm your host, Ducky. And joining me today is a friend and former admin of my old Discord server, so some of you might know him, Garking. Say hello, Garking.
Howdy everyone, how are we all doing?
They can't hear you, Garking.
I know. I mean, I don't know why I said how we all doing, but we'll roll with it. That's how we do it.
So how you doing? How you been since the absence of my Discord server?
Sleeping about 30% better, 70% less stress.
It really has improved a lot of people's lives, getting rid of that server.
Yeah.
Well, I will explain to people listening here. I did have a Discord server at one stage, and it was actually quite successful. It was quite decent size. And then one day, pretty much out of the blue from most people's perspective, I just straight up burnt it to the ground, deleted it. That kind of catches everybody up here that's listening.
Yeah. I mean, I don't blame you for burning it to the ground. It was, like, a massive fucking server. Like,
yeah.
not to boast your size or anything, but compared to...
Everybody knows I'm packing an absolute weapon.
I mean, how many was the people in it at the end? 3 grand? 3 grand people?
It was close to 3,000, I think, anyway, yeah. The last time I remember bothering me whole to check it, it was about 2,500, so that sounds about right.
Yeah, it was a really big server considering the size of you as a creator.
A lot of loyal people, a lot of people want some vitamin D in their life, you know? It was amazingly large for, like, considering I was practically never on it. I was on it maybe once a week where I'd mingle because I'm so painfully antisocial that talking to people just, frightens and confuses me.
Yeah, believe me, I know that, mate. Like, I was sort of had to bully you to do things.
Yeah, although we did do, like, movie nights and stuff like that weren't bad, but that's just because I didn't really have to interact. I could just sit there and watch and kind of joke surf talking about the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot different. It's kind of like, the way I kind of see it is when you're doing stuff like that, it's kind of like you're doing it with mates. So you're just sitting there, you have a few drinks, you can just talk about whatever, you can laugh at something that's bad, you can over-exaggerate, what have you, and it's not too bad, so it's quite easy to run those, so that's why I like running them.
Yeah. Suppose we will talk about why it got burnt to the ground, why it got deleted, and that's kind of when you came into the picture, because I had the server for a while, I had it for a few years, and it was just becoming a fucking... an absolute wasteland. It was just full of people that were just talking absolute shit. If somebody joined the server, a randomer, just somebody who came across my Discord server through the channel and joined the server, they would have been greeted by about 10 to 15 people calling them the worst names in the world out of nowhere. I don't know where the fuck people are getting off on this. It was supposed to one day some guy was like from Iceland or Greenland or something like that, and like he was greeted to the server by somebody saying Greenland's a fucking shithole. Yeah, very welcoming people, as you can imagine. So yeah, the server started kind of going to shit with edgy bastards been in there constantly fucking stirring shit and stuff. And that's kind of when you came into the picture, wasn't it? Because you kind of offered to become an admin and clean the place up, because I was pretty much already on the verge of wanting to delete it then.
Yeah, so I remember the day that I sent you a message. I think it was someone did an at everyone. It was just like a random user, and I just got that ping, and I was just like, fuck's sake. So I just messaged you because I was like, I just got off a shift at work, so I was like, oh fuck it, I might as well. So I dropped you a message. You didn't respond in your famous fashion, so like a week later I joined a voice chat with you and said, Ducky, check your DMs. And you just did.
Oh yeah. Well, see, because I just don't like following up with people. I really don't.
Yeah,
or I do, or I plan to, and I just straight up forget because of my head like a fucking goldfish.
Yeah, like and then we started chatting about it, and then you disappeared off the face of the earth for 2 weeks, and then you messaged me back again randomly.
That sounds exactly like me. I can't even deny it.
Yeah, because like after the first time I was like, okay, he's not interested. Then you messaged me back, so I was like, okay, he's interested. Then you disappeared for 2 weeks, and I was like, okay, he's obviously not interested. Then you messaged me back.
Oh, I'm a fucker. See, what happens when I'm making videos and I kind of get a good flow going, I have like blinders like a horse. I don't look in my peripheral vision at all. I just focus on video. I ignore everything else, because if I even get slightly distracted, I will get totally distracted.
Yeah, I get you. I'm like that as well.
But yeah, so that's when you came on board. I basically made you an admin and said, try fix this, because I'm going to delete it if nothing can be done.
Yeah. And it was a state, to be fair.
It really was. But that's because I had no rules. I was relying on people not to be arseholes, and that was a terrible move.
Yeah.
I was like, be somewhat respectable. Don't be arseholes. That's the only rules I had. And then that obviously wasn't working because everybody was being disrespectful and being arseholes. Then you came on board. I basically gave you total fucking control over the server. I was like, do what you need to do. And you implemented rules and everybody started losing their shit.
To be fair, at first, there was loads of people who were like defiant against the rules, but then you had the people on the other side of the coin that were like, yes, finally.
Yeah.
And then...
And see, the thing is, the people that were fucking defiant against the rules are the people causing the fucking problems.
Yeah.
That was making the place a very uncomfortable place to be. Like, nobody wanted to be there because it's just everybody was just talking shit.
Yeah, like in an ideal world, you wouldn't have any rules or laws because everyone would just be, I shouldn't stab that person. That's a bad idea.
Yeah.
But no. Law and order.
Yeah, and the other side of things then as well is Discord is a very, the user base of Discord leans very much towards teenagers and younger people again, despite the rules. So, the majority of people that were on there were kids that just simply wouldn't know better or haven't developed the social skills to understand how they're being pricks.
Yeah, one thing that really reminds me. Do you remember that kid who asked if the Black and Tan song was racist? Yeah. Yeah.
That made me laugh so much. Because some kid, I can't remember his screen name, not that I'd give it out anyway, but it was something IRA. He was an Irish young fella and he was very proud of the IRA in some respect. And he had asked if the song, Black and Tan song, asked if that was racist because he thought black and tans was referring to a skin colour and not the British Army uniform colour. How could you have a screen name of the IRA and know so little about it?
No, I remember it because I remember it vividly because I just remember absolutely sobbing my eyes out with laughter after that. Because he joins. His name was IRA something or other, I can't remember. He had a profile picture, everything, basically the lot. A bunch of us had our webcams on because we were just all sat there drinking. We had some music in the background. He's like, "Oh, can I play Black and Tans?" And he's like, "Oh no, is that racist?" Because there was a black guy
there's
on
a black
call.
guy in the fucking chat.
Yeah. And and he was just like, "Oh, is that racist?" And the black guy just started laughing, and we all just started laughing. Jesus, that was an event.
God, the stupid interactions. So many.
Yeah, the main thing is, I would say a lot of people are to blame for the server's fall.
Yeah, there was no one person. Yeah,
I'm not going to shelve it on this person and be like, it's entirely your fault. I'm not that type of person. I will take some responsibility myself. There are some things that I didn't do that I could have done, but you live and learn.
Well, I was already on the verge of deleting that server before you even came into the picture. I wasn't really happy with it. To be quite, I didn't even want to set the server up myself. It was when I first started YouTube. I think I was under 5,000 subs at one stage, and there was a couple of people. There was a Daddy Nick, Daddy Mick and Jinx. I can't quite remember. But
I think it was Jinx.
Yeah.
You said it was Jinx before.
But I was talked into starting up the Discord server because I hadn't a clue what it was or why I needed it, and pretty much since day one refused to run it or do much of anything with it unless it involved settling the occasional row that people would fucking message me over.
Yeah, you don't need to be in there all the time because your main gist of things is to do the content creation. I mean, it's kind of just you need the team to do it, and I do think a lot of people on the staff team did try their damned hardest, but if you don't have the people, you don't have the people.
But we see there was another side of it as well. The reason why it really started getting to me and bothering me the most was there was one day in particular I was writing a script, just as you do, sitting there writing away, and I was in good form, good mental space, was quite happy, the jokes were flowing and stuff like that, and then I get messaged by 2 or 3 people who are after having an infight, and it was just this playground fucking name calling is what it was, and I had to settle it and fucking kick people and ban people and this, that and the other, and just having to do that like I was a fucking teacher at a fucking play school just pissed me off, put me in a bad headspace altogether, and I couldn't even go back to the script because I just kind of lost the energy for it at that point. I was like, this is fucking bullshit, I'm so sick of this bollocks. Yeah,
that's one of the problems. A lot of people just see you as the de facto head of everything, so they think they can bypass the mods ruling or any other ruling just by going to you, and also they get an opportunity to talk to you, so that's kind of a 2 birds 1 stone for a lot of people.
Yeah, because you were the admin and there was maybe about 5 or 6 other mods, but the thing was then people would get a vendetta against you or the other mods because they were enforcing the rules, and they then thought that they were being unfair because they were kicking people for being pricks, so they tried to go over your heads and straight to me, which just in turn pissed me off even more. It's if I think somebody's being unfair, come straight to me, but when it's just oh well, I got a temporary ban, it's why did you get a temporary ban? Because I called somebody an N-word. And I was well, there you fucking go, why are you coming to me? It's there's your answer, but I was joking.
The thing is, a lot of people have this mentality that if I or another mod ban you from a server, we hate you and we hate everything that you do. I can only speak from my own personal viewpoint on it. I can't say for anyone else. But if I ban you from a server, I do not hold anything against you. I'm banning you because you broke the rules. I can still like you. Like, I've banned some of my best friends from servers because they broke the rules, but I still talk to them regularly. Like,
I don't hold a grudge unless I had to ban somebody twice, like a temp ban twice for the same thing, because that started to bother me then, because that's just disrespectful. It's like you're not listening. You know, you're not taking in this information. You're trying to be a prick now, is what you are.
But I will say, it depends on what you do. If you come in and start being a complete and utter arsehole, and that's why you get banned, I'll be like, oh, they're a bit of a dick, but I don't really know them. Yeah. But if you like posting edgy memes and that's why you get banned, it's kind of like, well, they probably were funny memes, but it's just not the place. Like, you're not going to go to a funeral and start fucking playing the trumpet, are you?
Yeah.
Unless someone asks you to. I mean, I don't know how you do funerals in Ireland, but I assume it's not like that.
Do an Irish jig, get a fiddle in there, and I'll bow on. Somebody gets up in the coffin there and starts Irish dancing. But that's pretty much kind of what happened. Well, you kind of took over. You laid out a load of rules that I approved. They all went by me. Some people seem to think that you made up all the rules yourself. No, they were signed off by me as well. So they were posted. A load of people got fucking butthurt about rules. It was a group had kind of started splintering off the server and created kind of their own server, which later down the line just became a griefing server, which would just, cause the main Ducky server some grief and just, starting gossip and bullshit. And that became a pain over time. But initially, the new rules came in. A lot of people ended up getting kicked within the first few weeks because they just refused to abide by the rules. And things kind of settled down for a while after that. It was still a bit hot-tempered, but ultimately everybody started getting on for a bit. Well, maybe a few months after that is when these second and third servers start popping up, because people are kind of gradually getting banned over time, and the people who got banned would join these other servers and then start bitching about being banned, even though 9 times out of 10 being banned was completely justified.
Yeah, I will admit there are some people that would have been banned that shouldn't have been banned. Just that's how it happens. Sometimes something happens as a miscommunication. This is where you get people arrested by accident. I hate comparing stuff on the internet to the real life, but it's the only way to really compare it.
Yeah, but I would say to the other side of things, I let a lot of people off being banned that should have been banned. I've let it slide more than once and sorted out trouble, but shit kept happening. But what happened over time anyway, we had these separate servers cropping up that were kind of had developed a grudge because they got banned from my server, or they didn't like the mods or for whatever other fucking reason, and they just started causing hassle and starting gossip and griefing and fucking coming in on alt accounts and just being trouble essentially. And that's pretty much what happened one day. More trouble was being started by these alt accounts and stuff like that, and I just got fucking fed up with it. And I thought, you know what, this server is making me, my mods, my admin, everybody fucking miserable, because we just can't keep on top of it. The chalice had already been poisoned. You can't scoop that out. Like, as much as we tried to get rid of the fucking shit out of the server, it was still present. The wound had festered at that point. So I just said, fuck it, I'm going to burn this fucking thing to the ground. Be done with it, make everybody happy.
Yeah, that's the thing you get with a lot of things. So like, I've done a lot of work in like pubs and stuff. And like, if you go to a certain bar that's had a mentality for a few years, changing that mentality is one of the hardest fucking things you'll do. So it wasn't me, but my manager was put in charge of a pub that was, you'd go in, there'd be people, doing the no snow off the table and all that shit. What would happen is you'd kick them out, but then their friends would just come in and do the same thing, or they'd come in on when you weren't there. So trying to get rid of that mentality is one of the hardest things you can do.
Yeah, it's like bad habits in a relationship. A start is the means to go on. You need to set down the ground rules at the very beginning, and I think that's kind of where one of the main problems happened with the channel or the server was, because we introduced rules well into its life, and like there was already a bit of a community established that kind of it unsettled them, and that's where a lot of the grief started.
I do sympathise with some of the people though, because from a lot of people's perspective, there was a lot of people caught in the
crossfire of it as well because of it.
Yeah, I do sympathise with like a lot of people though, because a lot of people saw me as like this quote unquote invader coming in, ripping the server from its natural habitat and just shoving it in a cage and just being like, right, this is what's happening now. But in reality, I spoke to you first. I've watched your content for, I don't know, it was a few months I watched your content for before I spoke to you. So I understood the type of humour that you liked, and I find that matches myself very, very much so.
Yeah, well, that's the problem with people being so kind of like socially undeveloped on Discord a lot of the time, because people just come in and call somebody a faggot. You're just like, why the fuck do you call him a faggot? Oh, he was joking. You're like, where the fuck was the joke there? That's not how a joke works. Punchline. Calling somebody a name isn't funny. There needs to be a punchline. You're just being an arsehole.
Like, so I have a friend who's bi. I am also bi myself. No surprises there.
You're by yourself?
Yeah.
Well, technically, I have a dog with me, so I'm not by myself. So.
For fuck's sake, that just went over my fucking head.
It really did, and I had to clarify it there because if you didn't get it, I was going to be hurt.
Yeah. So what I'll do is he talks about a girl, and I'll just look at him and go, "You like girls? You're such a faggot." And like we'll just start laughing at each other because we're not making fun of the word itself. We're making fun of the obscene claim that because he likes women, he's gay. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that joke was it Dumb and Dumber or Dumb and Dumber? One of them was asked like, "Do you have a girlfriend?" He's like, "Nah, man, chicks are for fags."
I actually didn't know it was from that movie though. I just came up with it with one of my mates.
Yeah, well, so that's the thing. It's the absurdity of it. That's the joke. Just calling somebody a name is not funny, and you can't decide retroactively that something is a joke either. You can't just say something and fucking been a cunt, and then as soon as you're called out, kind of going, "Oh no, it's a joke," as if it changes the context completely.
Yeah, the same goes for like a retroactive punishment. If someone does something and then later that gets added to the rules, I'm not going to go back and go, "Oh, you said this thing a year ago. I'm going to ban you because of it."
Yeah,
I might remove it, but I'm not going to punish someone because in my eyes, that is not right.
But then the other side of it is it does count if you previously broke the rules. You're going to get less leniency.
If you previously broke the rules, then that's different. But like, I don't know, if you posted an edgy meme and then a year later edgy memes were against the rules and someone went back a year and went, "Oh look, they posted an edgy meme a year ago," then I would go, "That was posted a year ago. I'll delete it," but they're not getting punished because that was before the rules had instated.
Yeah, so common sense applies.
Yeah.
Problem is now I've forgotten like so much of the shit that happened on the server because I've just repressed it. I just want it out of my head.
I remember quite a bit of stuff.
Well, you were dealing with a lot of the shit, a lot of the stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of the shit that went down in the server. For the little bit of shit I had to put up with, you had to deal with 10 times more of it because I pretty much handed all the trouble over to you.
I had a lot of basically my phone for a few months was just like a day, just like a log of everything. When I think when you delete the server, I purged over 1,000 photos from my camera roll. It was just like screenshots of like conversations,
load of he said, she
DM
said,
chats.
and fucking making records of shit.
Yeah, it's just so I can literally keep a record. So if ever something comes up again, I can just scroll back and go, "Oh yeah, that's what they did, that's what they said." Because you have the problem of someone deleting messages. I always get prepared for that because that always screws people over.
Oh, that was pretty much the downfall of the server then, yeah. So the long and short of it, I got sick of dealing with people's shitty fucking playground antics and better things to be doing with my life, and just ended the day I was like, fuck that. And that day was such a fucking relief, the day I hit delete on that. Oh lad, it was almost as good as sex. It just great wave of fucking energy just flew over my body. I was like, oh my god, I'm free.
Yeah, sitting in that voice chat was quite relaxing. It was like you're looking at the ground and just like a burning city, and it's just like you're just gonna fucking just drop the nuke on it and go.
Yeah. I was like a child running up to his mother just going, look what I did. Really excited. That was a good time. I suppose we'll throw it over to some questions on Twitter there. See what people want to know. Sickton asks, funniest moment in the server. Do you have a particular funny moment?
I think there was one thing that we mentioned, I think before we started recording, that 15-year-old or like 13-year-old that joined the voice chat.
Yeah.
And was just talking about how many women he's fucked in 6 months.
Yeah, that was it. So yeah, there was this kid. It was after I posted a video where I was taking the piss out of kids on Discord. I can't remember what video it was, but basically I said like the worst thing about Discord is kids who come in there who say they're astronauts and race car drivers who are also pimps, but they're digger drivers when they're not pimping their space bitches or some exaggeration. It was only a couple of weeks after that, some fucking kid, and he claimed that he claimed he was 17, but he definitely sounded an awful lot younger than that. And he was claiming that he'd fucked 15 women, and they were all of like, they're all way older than him and stuff. It just been completely ridiculous. I think he was talking about how he's like loads of different guns at his house and shit like this as well. And then maybe like 5 minutes later in the conversation, he then tells us that like he only lost his virginity like 3-4 months ago. So apparently he'd fucked these 15 in 3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
I was just sitting there kind of going, how did you, like, would you at least try and make the story somewhat believable?
I mean, like, the thing is, if he was 17, I want to know who was stomping on his nuts. Like, honestly, his voice, it's like a harmonica or some shit like that.
Yeah, I was just waiting for him to be kind of going like, yeah, I was fucking this girl who, she was actually my teacher and she was really hot. And as soon as I came, a big dragon appeared and I took out my sword.
Yeah, like, you get so many, like, odd stories like that, but I think by far one of the greatest experiences on that Discord was when, do you remember when we did the profile switch?
Oh, that was quite good, yeah.
Yeah, right, so for context for everyone, we just decided one night, me and Ducky were sat in voice chat, and we're like, hey, do you want to prank some people? So it was like an hour before an event, so what happened was, I took his profile picture, and I changed my name and everything, and he gave me the Ducky role, so in technicality, I was Ducky on the server.
Yeah, at a quick glance, without looking any deeper, it looked like he was me.
And then I joined the voice call, and you started talking, but I had my microphone fired when you said it, so it sounded like it was me talking, but it was, basically, so it looked like the fake Ducky was talking.
Oh, we got very elaborate, yeah.
And then what I did is I turned on my webcam and then I looked at the camera and looked with a face of panic and then turned it off. So everyone in the voice chat was screaming that they'd seen Ducky's face.
Oh, yeah. They all thought it was a big accident. The funniest thing about it is I had changed my profile to something that's like Jack Hackett or something, some Fat or Ted thing, and I had joined the voice chat before you came in pretending to be me, and nobody knew. I just stayed quiet.
Yeah. So
I was witnessing it all. So yeah, everybody just starts fucking losing their mind. They're like, oh God, Ducky's just after accidentally doing a face reveal.
I have that recorded, and I remember there was someone who said, oh my God, I have shadow play. I have Ducky's face. Like, you just had these people absolutely losing their shit, which is endlessly funny to me.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't matter what you look like.
Yeah, no.
Like,
most people don't give a shit, but some people would they want to be the first to see, this kind of thing.
Yeah. So now there is a video clip of allegedly Ducky, but it's actually me. So if anyone has that video clip, you're a fucking idiot.
I don't. Did we even come clean? I think we come clean with some people, but
yeah.
I don't think with a lot we didn't. It was just funnier to leave.
A lot of people left before we told everyone.
Yeah.
So there is 20 people on the internet that probably think you look like Hagrid now. So that's kind of great.
There was one night I remember. Me and Corey were on Discord, just chatting amongst ourselves, and I think we got a bit pissed. The two of us were drinking, we got a bit pissed, and we just decided to have a fake argument. But the fake argument was he'd just jump into my server and I'd jump in, and then the two of us would just start an argument, and then he'd leave, and then I'd leave, but then he'd come back as soon as I left, and he'd continue arguing, but I wasn't there. And he's like, oh, he's after leaving, fuck him, I'll find him. Then he'd leave and I'd join back and I'd continue arguing as if this argument was going on across servers. And the best thing about that is we never told anybody. We were just taking the piss.
Yeah, that's the best thing. It's where you do something, you don't tell anyone, and they sit around for months genuinely believing it. I've done that a few times.
My poor neighbours that night, because it was 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. So just drank way too much. I was just being way too loud. Even the missus the next morning, she's like, what the fuck were you shouting about in the office? And I was like, we're just drunk having a laugh.
Yeah, it's like all the people that ask for your name, they genuinely believe that I would give it to them.
Oh yeah, but you're that's the fun thing is everybody who asks anybody I know for my name, everyone just gives them a different name, so nobody knows. I could honestly tell one of you guys to give them my actual name, and nobody's going to believe it at this stage.
Yeah, the thing is, my favourite one is when I just say Paddy.
I love doing it. Yeah, I do that myself as well.
Yeah.
And because then when somebody else comes back to me and say, oh, is your real name Paddy? And I'll be like, just because I'm Irish, my name is fucking Paddy, is it?
Yeah.
No, that's not what I meant.
I just go through the most stereotypically Irish names.
Yeah, Mick.
Yeah, or Oisin or something like that.
Yeah. Well, there was one kid who randomly messaged me on, was it Instagram or something one day, and just not even a hello. Nothing, just went, what's your real name? And I was just like, what kind of fucking opener to a message is that? So I messaged him back and I said my name was Jack Me Off. And
I seen that.
You see that? Yeah, because I posted it on Twitter at the time, and he's like, "Oh, really?" And question mark, exclamation mark. And I was like, "Oh shit, he actually bought it." And that was clearly a joke name. And he's like, "Can I get a photo?" And I just sent, "Yeah, no worries." And I sent him a photo of Elon Musk. And he goes, "Is that really you?" I was like, "Yep, yeah, sure is."
The best thing is when people ask for face reveals of you, I will just go and find the most random picture. I think one time I sent a picture of a guy in a bikini. It was this guy, this ex-military vet or something like that. He's got the hairiest chest ever, and he's got tattoos all over him, and he's in a bikini. And I sent it to them, and I was like, "Yes, this is Ducky." I don't know if they believed me, but I genuinely hope they did.
Well, look, realistically, people won't have that long to wait, because I promised that 222,000. I'm at 140 now. I'm not a million miles away from it.
I'm still waiting for the left toe picture.
The joke's on everybody when I find out I am actually an anthropomorphic duck.
I mean, don't fuel the fucking feathery theory anymore. You already made it into like the top 10 furry rewinds.
I know, yeah. I mentioned that in the fucking, was it the Patreon podcast? I can't remember which one, but yeah. Let's see if we've got any other questions there. Mogul asks, when will Mogul be allowed out of the basement asking for a friend? Mogul was a former mod on my Discord server as well. So, Garking, are you going to let him out of the basement?
As soon as he lets me out of his basement, we're in a bit of a stalemate right now.
That's just like the beginning of the fucking Saw movie.
Yeah.
Two of you chained to pipes.
No, we're in different basements. We just shout across at each other.
We're shouting through the wall.
But yeah, Mole's a really fucking funny guy. He's genuinely really good.
Yeah, he is, yeah. Sound owl devil.
Yeah.
Problem with Twitter questions, I never know whether to address people by their @, or by the name they've chosen.
Do neither. Don't give them credit.
Fuck them.
Yeah, fuck them.
You want clout, you start your own fucking YouTube channel. That's the one thing. I've had like a few people on TikTok rip my videos and upload it to their own page, and then I'd message them kind of going, yeah, could you stop stealing my content? And then I'd immediately apologise, like falling over themselves to apologise. And I'm like, how did you think that this wasn't a bad thing, like stealing my shit?
A lot of them try and defend it saying, oh, we're expanding a new audience for you, but you have your own fucking TikTok.
Yeah. One kid, he says, oh, I'll give you credit. And I was like, I don't need credit. I get my own credit from my own fucking channel.
Like, that's the problem with a lot of things. A lot of people have like this misguided judgment of stuff. So it's like, oh, if I give them credit, then I can just rip all of their content.
Yeah.
But no, it doesn't really look like you're not doing anything transformative with it, and you're not really doing anything with it. You just cut, paste, upload. That's all you're doing.
A lot of the time it's just kids who don't know any better. They just see something and they rip it and re-upload it. But then there's other times there was people like literally impersonating me, had created channels and called Sergeant Ducky and started.
Oh, do you remember that kid? Do you remember that kid who joined?
Oh, that kid who was like starting some internet beef under my name and then thought I'd be grateful for it.
Yeah. That was fucking annoying.
Yeah, so some kid had joined the Discord server there one day. He had like my profile picture and my name, Sergeant Ducky, and everything. And he was talking about how he created a profile on YouTube under my name as well, like impersonating me and all that, and started fighting with some guy who was accused of being a pedophile or some shit, you know, some YouTuber. And that YouTuber apparently thought it was me. So I said to him, I was like, why the fuck did you do that under my name? I know fuck all about this situation. Why would you pretend to be me and get me involved in this? And the kid was like talking as if I should be grateful for him getting me involved in some fucking stupid drama shit.
Yeah, and then we asked him to change the profile and to delete the YouTube one, and he was just like, no, I'm doing what's right. And it's like, you can do what's right, but do it in your own fucking name.
Yeah. Don't artificially give yourself clout by impersonating somebody.
Yeah.
I don't remember much because I remember I pretty much kicked him from the server almost immediately because I was like, fuck that.
Yeah, because he was like in this righteous mindset that, oh, I can do a wrong if I'm fixing a greater wrong.
Yeah.
Like,
I remember just sitting there kind of going, I'm not fucking Drama Alert. I'm not a news channel. What the fuck are you getting me involved in pedophile? I'll make the odd jab at YouTubers being pedophiles, absolutely. But that's in the name of comedy. Like, I'm not here trying to fucking get involved in all that shit.
Yeah, I know about your fucking jabs. Your jabs are great, mate.
Well, that's the best way to do it. I remember, I made some sort of piss take toward, was a Keemstar tweet something out about YouTubers being pedophiles, and I tweeted back at him kind of going, well, yeah, that's kind of like it's a rite of passage for a YouTuber these days. Like, if you're not a pedophile, are you even a real YouTuber? And like within a week, some other big fucking YouTuber came out as a pedophile. I just retweeted that previous comment and going, oh, it's such a burden being right all the time.
Yeah, that's like the best thing, when you just have the ability of just seeing stuff from the future and just...
Oh, God. Once I said that and somebody said, like, oh, does that mean you're a pedophile? And it's just like, look, I can't even stand talking to kids, much less fucking them.
If you want to experience Ducky in his true habitat with children, just fucking look at his Discord server.
Oh, God.
Most of the messages were, fuck off, leave me alone, or, yeah, I'm Ducky. That was also another thing. Everyone always asking if I was you.
Yeah, which was a bit random, even because there's clearly another profile there, Sergeant Ducky. Like, I switched between the two. Like, I'm undercover adminning my own server.
I think it was like, at the height, it was 10 people a day. I would then, like, I even set my custom status on Discord to say, I'm not Sergeant Ducky.
Which probably fueled the fire even more realistically.
No, that actually got rid of most of them. Some people memed about it, some people who I knew. Like, one of my IRL friends messaged me saying, hi, Sergeant Ducky. And I just said, fuck off. I had all these people messaging me, and I was always like, no. Until, like, one day I was just like, fuck it, I'm just going to say yes to all of them now. So then I would like start answering if I was you.
You were just so in confusion is all you were doing.
Yeah.
Ineffa Wolf asks, never got to be part of the Discord community before it was shut down. I was just barely too late. So what was it like in general before you had to shut it down, and do you regret making it in the first place? I don't regret making it in the first place, because for all the shit that was on it, there was still a good bit of crack to be had as well. It was just the occasional black spot that just pissed me off. But on most days, I'd go in there, I'd mingle for, a few minutes and leave again, and it was normally a good bit of crack. Or when I was doing the events where we were watching movies together, provided you had the right crowd in with you, it was a good laugh. It was just other days you wouldn't get the right crowd, or you're just dealing with fights. I don't necessarily regret making it in the first place. I just regret not having a very clear set of rules from the offset and what was being enforced.
The thing is, like, we do shit on the server because we experienced the full front of it, and a lot of the mods did. Roz in particular, she loves shitting on that place because it's fucking fun to do.
Oh, stop. I was speaking to her like the couple of weeks leading up to shutting the server down, because like shutting the server down wasn't that spontaneously. I knew a few weeks beforehand, and
yeah.
I was talking to her and I was just like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm going to shut the server down. And she was just like, do it now. I was like, no, I'm going to give it a while. I want to settle my affairs before I leave it. Like, she's like, no, do it now.
There were certain things that I realised that were giving it away that you were going to shut it down. A few things in particular, like the VIP room.
Oh, yeah, my own personal server.
That was a massive hint that you were going to shut it down.
Not everybody knew about that, did they?
Very few people in retrospect. But back to jump on what I was talking about before we talked about how lovely Roz is. Like, despite what was wrong with the server, there were still a lot of people. Like, I could name a good handful of people that were there. They would hang out all the time. They would talk. Like, they would message me. Like genuine people that I would consider not friends as per se, but good acquaintances. Someone who I'd go out drinking with, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, good eggs. They were fucking. Yeah, you didn't mind being in a chat with them. They were respectful. They were nice. They were up for a laugh. They weren't being pricks.
Yeah, they would have banter and stuff like that. They'd talk to you, but then they'd also do other things, like they would catch the people who were doing shit and they would report them. Or they would also do things to help you. Like, I don't know, they'd draw you fan art, they'd make you fan clips, fan edits, all that stuff, which is really nice to see. Because
absolutely, yeah. Because
it strokes your ego, doesn't it?
It does. But we'll say the other side of things is, like, ultimately the Discord server was for fans of the channel. The reason why I started to resent it so much is because people were scheming against the channel, and then it just kind of became this weird community of people who both loved and despised the channel because they were breaking the rules and getting banned and getting, scorned and punished for things. It's not a good thing. And then you have, obviously, these people have been around the server for a while and they're not overly fond of the rules. They kind of feel a little bit of ownership over the server because they've been there so long, so they just kind of refuse to let it go or behave or change their attitude in any degree. But ultimately, like, the server was full of a lot of very nice people that, we all got along with quite well. But again, it was just a wound that had festered, so there was a lot of rot that just couldn't have been fixed without burning the whole fucking thing down.
Yeah, that's one thing that, like I said, the comparison I made to, like, bars and stuff before. You get that a lot in bars. You'll have someone who's come in for a few years and they'll spend, I don't know, however much money a day on drinking, but they are the worst cunts ever and they will actively make it worse for other people coming in. So you get no new people. So you're basically relying on these people. And
you have to make excuses for the bad eggs, kind of going, well, look, they've been here a while. Yeah. I don't want to fucking kick people who have been showing support for so long, but they're not helping with anything at all.
One thing that I find is if you get rid of those bad eggs, you'll get 20 other people who are actually probably better than them. But, like, one thing that I'll always remember, there was a guy who, because I wasn't a manager or anything, I was just, like, really, really good friends with the owner, so they kind of, like, trusted me with a lot of shit. This guy was a family friend at that time, but he was the most vile fucking piece of shit. Like, he would drink, and he would, like, fall asleep on the sofa, he'd fucking shout at people. He literally said to him, listen, you're gonna have to get out. We don't want you here anymore. And, like, as he was leaving, he was like, oh, you'll never do good without me. You'll never make any money. Your business is gonna fucking burn. As he's walking out. It's been a year since we did that to him. I've had 30 people come up to me and go, yeah, that guy was a right cunt, wasn't he?
Yeah. But so that's the thing. Like, when you have so many of those people, the environment you're in just becomes an unpleasant place to be. You're almost bracing for shit to start or something to be said, that kind of way, or you're going to have to ready some excuses on that person's behalf, and it's just annoying. Like, you want everybody to show a bit of respect, a bit of decency, talk like normal fucking people, but then you have other people then that just, start rows or shit on people or confuse racism with humour.
Yeah, that's a problem you get a lot. Like, a lot of people just find saying an edgy thing is funny. In this right context, it can be. You can say something edgy in the unexpected moment, and it'll be funny.
Yeah.
But if that's the only thing you say, and you just keep doing that for years, months, you do it every day, you're just going to get people that are going to go, oh, he's annoying.
Yeah, it just fucking, it wears you thinner than a fucking pound shop Johnny. Like, when it's just day in, day out, racist or edgy, there's no shock value to it anymore. You just kind of expect it, and then when you're expecting it, it just becomes a nuisance.
Yeah, especially on the internet. Like,
yeah. Let's see if we can find another question here. Let's see. Somebody called soda.
you have to say like an advert. Come on.
Ooh, Denon.
Yeah, there we go.
Who was the most sound person on the Discord? Sound person. There was a good few sound people, realistically.
I can think of a lot of people I fucking despised. Not because they broke the rules or anything, but just because they were just horrible people.
Yeah, that's the problem with like the worst people stand out in your brain. It's like back when I was working in retail. If somebody asked me what was your favourite customer, I wouldn't be able to tell you. But if you asked me what was my worst, I could list them. Yeah. Because you remember the bad ones. The good ones were just people who were online that were inoffensive and you could just have a normal conversation with. So it was, I'd say about 85% of the server were all lovely, decent people.
Like, because I had a few friends who actually watch your content sitting there, and like they never said a word in there. They were just like in the outskirts watching it burn, and it was quite funny because they would just tell me shit that was going on. But, like, there were a few good people. Like, actually, what I'm gonna do is, like, there was some guy who I was gonna play Payday with. He was quite chill and stuff. I think his name was, what was his name? Vic. His name was Vic or something like that. Wolf of Winter. He was a nice guy. Aloe that's the one who did the...
yeah, Aloe's the one who's done that little outro animation for me.
Yeah, I also like, Ciro. I can't say his fucking name. Sirikito. That's him. He posted quite funny shit, so he's quite a chill dude.
We weren't short on nice people. Slightly too many not nice people.
I just want to make it clear, if I didn't mention you, it's not because I didn't like you. It's because there was a lot of people. It was a server of over 3,000 people. Well,
I can't be held too accountable because I was on it all of once a week.
Yeah, you have the fucking the escape card. Like, fuck you.
Yeah, well, I was just occasionally jumped on it when I was bored. Like the thing I was using Discord for realistically was just jump on when I was bored at night and just chit chat for maybe 5 or 10 minutes, have my ego stroked or, you know, my curiosity piqued at what's going on without me, and then I'd leave and go to bed.
Yeah, that's one of the best things. I mean, I always had people stroking my ego as well, and I was just kind of like, can you not? Because the thing is, the way I see it is, I'm not doing like God's work or whatever. I'm just doing what you asked me to do.
Yeah, you were still doing a fucking uphill battle though.
Yeah, it was a fucking uphill battle, but I offered to help you, and you asked me to help you, so in a way,
and you really wanted that server to survive. Like, I remember when I told you that I was shutting the server down, I felt like I was kicking a puppy. Because I was just like, if anybody's not going to be thrilled about this, it'd be you. Because after a while, the server just became your baby.
The thing is, a lot of people say, like, oh, you always look at your things that you made, and you always say, you never see the problems. I could see the problems. I could see the blatant fucking problems.
Yeah, like that server was a troubled child. It was the kid out of the Omen. That's what that server was.
But the thing is, after all the time and shit I spent in it, like setting it up, running it, like making like conversations with people, talking to people, making somewhat connections with people, you do definitely like think, oh shit, I don't want this to go, because at the end of the day, it's a lot of work that's just being thrown out the window.
It's a big time investment. You're after sinking into it, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can find another question here. Wolf of Winter. Oh, you just mentioned him. How long did it take you to make the Titanic meme to announce the fall of the server? It took me about an hour, realistically. I had that just ready to go. I can't remember, how did I do it? I think I just posted it to the Discord and then left it for about 15 minutes and then just deleted the entire server, wasn't it?
Yeah, you posted the tweet because we still had the Twitter log at that point.
Oh, yeah.
So basically everyone saw the Twitter log and they were like, oh my god, it's ending. And then it was just mass hysteria.
Yeah, so anybody who didn't know any better, they just logged onto Discord one day, seen that tweet and went, what? And then after they watched that, the server was gone. Yeah. I thought it was a lovely way to end it though. I just thought, when I was making that, I was just giggling the whole time.
I mean, yeah, like I saw it and I was just fucking I was fucking laughing my ass off.
My
like,
favourite thing though was like Roz, once it was happening, she was like, before you delete it, can I just start banning a load of people I don't like? I was like, well, yeah, you can. I don't care. The server's been deleted. Everybody, all you guys just went banning people left and right.
Because like I just went through like, because I remember in movie nights and shit, we'd always make this joke that you'd say a random number and then I'd just say someone who was banned, because everyone had like this mentality that I was like the big bad guy banning people. So I always used to clown on it, saying, oh, Yeah, so Ducky, who do you want to ban today? I'm looking at this person who just joined, who said hi. They look like they need to be banned.
There's no drugs allowed in this server. I don't care how high you are, you're gone.
Yeah, so like there was these people who were like, took this dead serious and then started developing a vendetta against me. And then there was other people who were finding it hilarious that I was doing this and like clowning on people because I just like fucking with people. That's one thing that I always like doing. And not a lot of people realise that. That's what you like doing. That's
I do. I am guilty of trolling people. Let's see if we get a couple more questions in here. Who gives the best head? I know both of you have the same answer, or both of you have an answer. That was asked by OP Gaming.
Oh, fuck. Well...
I don't know, like, you're bi, so, like, you have 6 days of the week to train how to give head, because obviously you're celibate on a Tuesday, because that's how bisexuals do gay Tuesday. But I just have 1 day a week, but I have to try really hard on that 1 day a week, you know?
And also, you're the one who came up with the concept of a gay Tuesday, so you must be good at something.
I didn't come up with it. That just kind of happened naturally when you spend a lot of time with the boys. It's cold one night in the house, you can't afford money for the heating, shit happens. So what's your head game like? Good, yeah?
I mean, I haven't really... No.
No, not
I haven't had much experience with the head, nah.
I'd imagine it's probably a lot easier to give head if you're a fella, because you kind of understand the mechanics of it, you know?
What's the thing? That it's like gay men give better blowjobs than regular women?
I'd believe it, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember once I got a toss, I got a wank off this girl one night that I brought home. She grabbed it by the base and pulled forward. It was just so strange, because I'm not circumcised, I have a foreskin, and you know, the rule of thumb is you pull that back.
Yeah.
That's how you commence it. That's how you kick things off. But she was grabbing it by the bottom and pulling it forward, so she was kind of giving my dick more of a hoodie. And she kind of kept going, but the problem is I didn't have the heart to tell her she was doing it wrong. You know? So I just kind of went, oh yeah, that's lovely. Let's just fuck.
Yeah, like, I've had something like that where, like, someone did something similar like that, but they grabbed from the top, and they didn't know how much force to give, so they just slammed down.
Oh, fuck.
And of course, so it was like, just imagine someone slapping you right in the bollocks.
Oh,
and it's just like...
a good friend of mine, something similar happened to him, where he was riding his missus, and he slipped out, as you know, occasionally you do that. And normally you kind of bounce your dick against him, like a boink, you know, off their pelvis. But
I can't fucking tell you how many times I've done that.
Whatever way she came down, she kind of gripped him and tore his foreskin.
Oh!
Yeah, and nobody likes hearing that. Snapped his banjo string, I believe is the term. But,
yeah, that's fucking hell.
And he was talking to me about it, and I was like, how was it? And he was like, glad. I was fucking terrified. Blood was fucking pulsing out of my dick like I hit a fucking artery. Like, I was standing over the sink with my dick just in it, and there was blood just pissing out of my dick. He's like, it's fucking frightening. And as a man, the first time I heard this, I was like, what? That's a thing? Like, I've come close. Like, I've slipped out and, you know, I've gotten bunched the odd time, but I've never torn it. And he said the worst thing was he went to the hospital and he got a few stitches and stuff in it, but after a few months he felt like it kind of had healed enough. And at this stage he was mad for a toss or sex or something, because he obviously couldn't do anything for months. But he decided to have a toss, I think it was, and he obviously went for a toss, and as he was tossing, it snapped again. It wasn't fully healed.
Fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Oh.
So he went about 6 months in total without the ride, because he was just too afraid after that.
I haven't done stuff like that, but I've like basically. I mean, I myself was circumcised, but I was circumcised at a late age. It wasn't a religious thing because my parents are Catholic, but they don't follow into any of the other stuff like that.
Yeah, it's more of a choice your parents make more than religion nowadays. Because I have a couple of friends who are not anyway religious whatsoever, or their parents, but they're circumcised.
Yeah, a lot of people have it as like a medical thing as well, which is what I've heard. So the worst memory I'll ever have is waking up with just blood all down my leg. My legs were like it looked like a fucking Jackson Pollock painting. It was a fucking nightmare.
Dear God.
Yeah. It's a fucking nightmare. I hated that.
Let's see, get another one up here. King Sly the Clown asks, I got a question for my boy Garkin. Do you ever want it? Why did you never want it? Am I still your queen?
That's Sly. His name was Sly Duck on the server, but he changed his name because everyone bullied him because everyone thought he was a Ducky clone.
There can only be one duck.
Yeah, so you know how you've had your fair share of rants on Game of Thrones season 8, haven't you?
I certainly have, yeah.
Yeah, so you know in where Jon Snow is like talking to Dany, and he's like, I don't want it. I never wanted it. You're my queen, Dany.
You're my queen. Every fucking episode. You're my queen. That's all his dialogue was for the entire season. But you're my queen.
So like me and him have this thing of where we'll just join a voice chat and just go, I don't want it. Or we'll like spin it for it's like, I've always wanted it. Or like we just basically siphon through this shit because for some reason it's like the funniest shit ever to us.
Except for the boys is something similar like that as well. You know the early seasons of Game of Thrones, that guy that was in charge of the Night's Watch?
Yeah.
He had one line that he said, and it just became memeified among my mates and stuff. So every now and again, we'd just be like drinking or shite talking or whatever, and one of us would just kind of go, "Oh, you bastard." do you remember him though? He's like, "Snow, you bastard."
That was Alistair.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. But then you give it like different tones, like, "Oh, you bastard."
One of my favourite ones was when obviously, like, the thing is, I'm a patron to you, so I can watch videos early. I don't give you much. I only give you like $1 or something like that.
You cheap fuck.
Like, yeah, fuck off. And you said to me, like, you said to me and Roz, because both of us do it. You said, "Oh, you should." I don't know why you still subscribe to me on Patreon. Like, it's kind of weird. My friend's giving me money.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I just posted the thing from Bronn. The sellsword was like, "Oh, it enhances our friendship, really."
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, the thing I found hilarious though is because like you were admin on my Discord server, Roz was a mod, and both of you were paying me.
Yeah, let's change that around. When's my paycheck come through?
That's the bit I think upset me most. It's like, hold on, you're doing me a favor. It's like if you want videos early, I can link them to you. Like you don't need to become a Patreon.
It's just $1, mate. It's not much.
Ah, yeah, well, sure. I'll spend it wisely on bones for my dog in honor of your avatar.
Yeah, but speaking of payment, when do I get paid?
Never.
For fuck's sake.
The key to a successful business is slave labor.
Yeah, that is true. That is one thing I fucking learned. Like, that's what you do. You just get people who like really like being mod, and then you just give them mod, and then you never have to do anything.
Yeah, what you do is like you become mildly popular, have a Discord server, have it fall to shit, and then eventually somebody will step forward and volunteer. You won't need to ask to try fix it.
I do want to preface this. If there is ever a server where you want to be mod, don't fucking ask the owner. Don't do what I did. I was very much an exception. I knew Cynical Reviews, which you've done a podcast with. I knew him. I've worked with him for quite a while. And also, I watched Ducky's content, so I kind of had connections in that way, which is one of the main things that people say when you get into a job. It's not about what you know, it's about who you know.
Yeah.
But, like, never just join a server, message the owner and be like, "Hey, I've admin 10 servers. I'm really good at admin. Make me admin, please." Never do that.
Yeah, it's a little bit cringe, but like realistically, you can do that provided you have the proper approach. Like if you're not coming in here like a 14-year-old kid begging. If you have,
I can't tell you how many people asked me to be asked to be mod.
It got to the point where we had to like make a mini mod thing. Do you, what was the name originally for the mini mod?
Helper.
What? Helper, wasn't it? And
because they help people, they don't mod.
Yeah, and then like a few of them were kind of not happy with the name, and I kind of went, yeah, realistically, it's a slightly demeaning name, helpers. Like, you know, I might as well call them
That's
nerfs.
the point.
But like, then I allowed them to change their name to whatever they wanted. Like, you know, I let them vote, and then it chose mini mod, which is like, oh guys, you could have went for anything. The Death Squad.
The thing is, like, I had the reason it was called Helper was because if as soon as you put the name mod on something, people will instantly assume that they have power, and if they don't do something, they will be instantly targeted by people who want something to be done.
But I suppose on the other side of things, I wanted them to be, you know, kind of respected to some degree on the server as well.
Yeah, like the whole point of the role, at least from when I introduce it to certain things, is someone joins the server, they say hello, they answer any questions that they have. That's kind of like the general gist of it. That's all they realistically do.
And now Citizens Information Office there.
Like, I don't know if they have this in Ireland, but I know they have it in America. Like, you know, when they're like, because like in America, they have like at Walmarts, they'll have like greeters and stuff. Yeah. That when you walk in, they'll say hi to you, how you doing, and stuff like that. It's kind of like that. Like, they don't have power. They couldn't kick you out the shop, but
I just think
they are respected.
The main problem was I just think helper sounds like really weak, you know? It's like Santa's little helper. Just imagine this like child running around the place. I'm helping.
Yeah, it's like you know, in school when you have the the kid that gets like the special like hall monitor badge or something like that, and all they do is like report the other bigger kids for smoking.
Yeah.
That's basically the point of it.
You should have just called them hall monitors.
Yeah.
Nobody would have wanted it then, because they're just like, you might as well just call me a snitch.
Just call them snitches. That's it.
One question I have is, remember the time was it your birthday on the server? And
yeah.
I did an announcement that everybody should send you nudes.
I know exactly what the question is.
Did you get any nudes in the end?
Yes.
You did? I did it. Helping my boy.
Not real nudes. Like, some people sent me like random like odd nudes that they found from like porn websites. So, for example, someone sent me a picture of a girl with a birthday cake on a fanny and a torch in there. And not a torch, a candle.
A torch.
Yeah. No, like a little candle, and it was just being balanced on it. In other cases, I got from Roz particularly. She sent me a shit ton of granny porn. Yeah, yeah. So that was interesting.
That's probably because you kept calling her old.
Because I kept calling her granny, so she was like, right, if you're calling me granny, you can have some fucking granny porn.
It's like, you have to look at this, or else you're just going to have this fucking unread notification icon forever.
Yeah. But I did get like a few I got a lot of people messaging me saying like random shit.
Yeah.
So like someone said like, this isn't porn, but here's like a short erotic fan fiction or something like that.
Yeah. So, but you did get some legit news, did you? Or at least
somewhat.
that you suspect that would be legit, because it's never you never know for sure.
Yeah, I did suspect some were legit.
So that's the thing, like, you know, I'm not a single man, so I said I'm going to live vicariously through you. I'm going to get this man some fanny pictures if I can. Yeah, if that doesn't go to show how serious I took that server, I don't know what will. So here is Garkin's birthday, for no other reason than that. Send him some tits.
Yeah, it was fucking great.
It's like the best thing you can get a man for his birthday ever. Tits.
And
you know, the best thing is, like, you know, there's going to be a few smart arses that were going to send you some dick, but you're a boy. So that works out too.
But yeah, I got like some random shit from people. It was quite funny. Like, a lot of people sent me like random memes or some stuff, so I was laughing at those as well. So there was some good stuff. Lots of people did fan art of like you and me together, which is quite wholesome, I'd say, even though we're like the most dirty bastards around.
Yeah, one thing I was massively like surprised by was the sheer lack of Ducky porn people had drawn. Like, you know, that was it Rule 34? Is it that what they call it?
Please don't. You know we're gonna get that now. You're gonna get that.
But given my personality, my style of comedy and stuff like that, I expected it. I absolutely expected it. So I was kind of like, when I see next to none of it, I was like, wow, this is strange.
There is some Ducky NSFW that I've seen. A lot of them are just like you with a corkscrew dick. That's just endlessly funny to a lot of people, because, you know, duck.
I know, yeah, it's very handy when you're going down the stairs, because I go downstairs like a slinky. Max, you're making too much noise. He's gone back to bed.
Give him a little pat.
That's what he does. He gets up from his little sleep. He walks over to me. He's like, "Here, give us a pet there, will you?" I was like, "Okay, pet you." He's like, "Right, going back to bed."
Yeah. I do love dogs, and I know you do too, so that's one common ground we have.
I do. Dogs are fantastic people. So is there anything you want to add there, Garkin? Any?
Is there any more decent questions, or have we sifted our way through them?
I've kind of sifted my way through them. Anything else is not really relating to anything worth talking about or that. And a lot of it are just kind of repeat questions, like funniest moments on the server and whatnot.
It's because I'm not famous enough yet.
Well, you're a bit of a celebrity when it came to the Discord. Like, how long were you admin on it for?
Probably say about... Because it was the summer when I took over. It was like early summer, so like June, July-ish. And then the server, you made your announcement about shutting it down in... Yeah,
I shut it down for my birthday. It was November 2nd, I think, the day it went down. Well, it was the day before my birthday, because I didn't want to... I was getting a birthday blowjob, right? Can't hold it against me. They just set aside a whole day for that. It's an event when you're in a relationship for near 8 years, you know?
Celebration.
It is,
honestly,
yeah.
It's one of the best things, yeah. I don't blame you, mate. Don't blame you.
You know when it's just like, you know, it's time for your birthday blowjob, and you're like, blow what? Oh, a blowjob. Jeez, yeah, it's been years.
Yeah, you do get some great shit.
Know a guy who was met up with this girl, and both of them were fairly sexually inexperienced. They had planned to kind of go off together, you know, do something in the car. So he drove off down the road with her, and came back maybe 10 minutes later, and she got out of the car and went off with her friends and all that. And we're like quizzing him. We're like, "Oh lad, well, how'd you get on?" And he was like, "Well, she gave me a blowjob." I'm like, "Yeah, how was it?" And he's like, "I don't think she knows what a blowjob is." And we're like, "Why? What happened?" And he was like, "Well, I got the dick out, and she grabbed it, and she, you know, kind of tugged down, exposing the head of his dick, and she got right up close and just blew on it." I was like, "What?" Well, she didn't even like pop it into her mouth or anything. He's like, "No, she literally just blew it for like 5 minutes," and I was just like too horrified to even correct her, and just kind of put my dick away and said, "Oh, okay, I'll drop you back to your friends. That was great and all."
I genuinely hope that woman has spent the rest of her life.
I hope she's still doing it today. Like she's testing a microphone, just
Like she has like a boyfriend, and like he's like genuinely into that shit, and she just thinks that's an actual blowjob, or like he's never had the heart to tell her or something.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing you get. Like a lot of people do shit wrong, but you don't have the heart to tell them.
I'm trying to think if was there anything I ever done wrong, like sex wise. I once, like in a drunken stupor, I was riding a girl and I was like fingering her in the bed, and in my drunken state, I thought, you know what she'd like? She'd like a pinky up the hole. I'll tell you what, she did not like a pinky up the hole. She didn't appreciate it one fucking bit. She nearly hit the wall with the left she gave out. Like, she did, oh, what the fuck you doing? And I was just like, what? Nothing. No, nothing. I slipped.
I remember one time, this was like when I was back in school, and there was this lass who really interested in me. So I was just like, sure, fuck it, why not? Nothing can go wrong with this. Basically, she went to come and kiss me. Well, I went to kiss her because I was just like, fuck it. It's we went on a quote-unquote date, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And you know how a lot of people are like really panicky when they first kiss, so they just kind of like peck you on the lips?
Yeah.
This girl thought, you know what? I know everyone does that. I'm going to do the opposite. Her tongue smacked the back of me throat.
Oh,
she
God.
fucking went for it.
Like a fucking chameleon there, just went straight for it.
Yeah, so like I was just there, just like, okay, this is fine, and then go, what?
She must have had a tongue on her like me fucking man out of Kiss or something to be able to hit the back of your throat.
She didn't hit like that far, of course, but like she fucking, you know when you do an arm wrestle against someone who's really fucking weak and you're just trying to fucking slam them down on the table.
She was like a lizard trying to catch a fly, like she just launched it.
Yeah, she launched it, shoved my tongue out of the way, and then just went around full fucking like
move
like
aside, pussy. I'm taking it from here.
Like she was doing a fucking swab test on me. I kind of just like went home after that. I was like, what the fuck happened?
I bet you felt like you were raped.
Yeah, like it was like
you were just at home in the fetal position in the shower, just.
Yeah, just it was honestly a fucking nightmare. But like I have like loads of like odd fucking stories like that from school. You know how you said you didn't really come out of your shell in school?
Yeah.
I kind of didn't, but then also lots of funny shit happened to me because I went to like a school where you kind of like you stay over, so it's like a
boarding school.
I don't know what you call. Yeah, boarding school. I don't know if you called them that in Ireland. So yeah, I was like, it was like a military international school. So I was kind of just like staying there. So loads of shit happened. Like you'd have people fucking running around up other halls naked, or like. Or like people sneaking off.
If you want your child to lose their virginity before they're 18, send them to a boarding school.
Oh yeah,
gay or
like,
straight.
Yeah, like yeah, in the showers especially. Like I remember there was one time. This doesn't involve any fucking wrongdoing on my part, but I was like in the library or the study or what have you, and there was I was in there with this lass. We were just talking. We were friends. She was in the year below me, and we were just kind of like sat there studying. Then this teacher comes in, and then we start talking about jobs. Work and stuff like that. And then about 20 minutes later, they were also called the residential officer, matron, whatever you want to call them. She fucking flings open the door, storms in, and goes, "What are you doing out of bed? It's past your bedtime." She's fucking like screaming at us. So we go back to the house. She goes to the girl's house. I go to the guy's house. I walk in and there was the other matron there, a residential officer again, whatever. And I was really good friends with her because she was chill. She was like down with the kids, even though she was like 50 odd.
Hello, my fellow high school kids.
Yeah, literally like a Steve Buscemi type. But she was just like, so what happened? And I was like, oh, we were just in the library with the teacher talking about stuff. And she was like, oh, the other matron called me and said she thought you were shagging.
Shagging.
So like this 50-year-old.
I just imagine her saying it like Austin Powers.
So we just looked there, laughing at each other, saying, "No, we were just fucking studying." So like the other teacher got like this mentality that we were fucking each other and we were hiding, but no, it was like the funniest thing.
I know one of the guys who got suspended from school for a week for fingering the principal's daughter.
Oh, fucking Jesus.
And she was a fucking good-looking thing as well, so fair play to her.
Balls of steel. I mean, my principal's daughter was like, how old was she? She was like 7 years below me, so that was fucking no.
Now, that would have been a fucking power play.
No, oh, Jesus Christ. No, I would not fucking touch that with a 10-foot barge pole. I cannot feed into any more conspiracies about Discord moderators, mate. You know that.
Discord moderators I suppose they do to a degree, wouldn't they? Because there's a reputation for being pedophiles.
Yeah, it's worse than fucking YouTubers, like.
And YouTubers have it pretty bad, like. But that's just because they keep writing kids.
Yeah, I mean, when you get exposed, come on, I'm waiting for you to get exposed.
No, I always kill the kids afterwards so they can't tell anyone. That's the secret.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as you get exposed, I'll just take over your channel and put on a really shitty Irish accent.
What happens is I have this spot nearby my house that's like a cliff overlooking the sea, and there's a railing there, so I'll just bend them over the railing, and when I'm done then I just kind of lift their feet and let them fly over.
It's like skydiving, but with no parachute.
There's so many people right now are just like, oh, fuck this, and just clicked off the podcast.
Yeah, like, I bet some people are expecting this to be like, oh, really chill, but no, we're fucking degenerates, like.
Yeah, no, it started off very admin, and it's after going downhill pretty quick. Or uphill, depending on which way you look at it.
Yeah, whichever way you swing.
So the moral of the story is, don't be a cunt on Discord servers and send Garking nudes.
Yeah, or don't. I mean, again, don't want to reinforce any Discord moderator fucking conspiracies.
What I will say, though, for people that are listening in, the Discord server is not going to be completely dead forever. I am reviving it for Patreons only, I will say, because that's fucking manageable. And that's the reason why. I'm not making it public because it's just completely intolerable when there's thousands of people there and it's hard to stay on top. So I'm going to make it a Patreon exclusive Discord. You're taking over admin it again, Garkin, aren't you? You're volunteering for that.
Yeah, I got some mods as well, so we have a very big mod team.
Beautiful.
Added some upgrades.
Some revised rules, stuff like that, yeah. But that will be coming soon. It'll probably be up and ready by the time I release this podcast. So if you're a Patreon and you're listening to this podcast now, go check the Patreon page and make sure you're all set up for the Discord role. I will also say, though, just because you're a Patreon doesn't mean you will get any special treatment in terms of being banned. You need to still follow the rules. I don't want to be a dick. I just want to preference this now. If you get kicked or banned because you broke the rules, it's not personal. It's because you broke the rules, and that's it. And don't take it personally, and don't, get vindictive or angry over it. It's just the way it is. If you think it's unjust, you can always talk to an admin or myself about it. It's obviously not going to be a problem for most people. Most people are perfectly lovely people, perfectly polite, normal, average people that can understand a bit of common sense, but some people can't. So I need to add that kind of T's and C's on the end of it.
Yeah, you always got to have the T's and C's on. Like, I have nothing personal against people that I ban.
No, yeah, it's just admin work. It's like, okay, you did that, you were told not to do that, goodbye, next person. There's no numbers on a screen when people are getting banned. There's no personal vendetta against anybody.
Yeah.
Is there anything you've added that you'd like to talk about?
Sure, fuck it. So, I might as well just go for a quick rundown of everything. So for those of you who really like the economy bot, it's fucking back! And there's also a few things you can get from it, so you can actually buy things. A few custom replies that I've set up, which are a fucking nightmare to make. So I've only made like 6 of them, and I'm probably not going to do any more unless people make them for me.
What is a custom reply?
So basically, one of them, let me pull up the, one of them says, basically, you steal Dilbo Baggins, and you flog it off for however much money you get.
Oh, so that's for the economy bot when you're doing jobs and stuff.
Working and stuff, yeah. It kind of gives you like odd things. It's like a little Easter eggs and shit like that. I will say right now, just for clarity, we are unsure about having the UA role. We may introduce it later. This depends on how we go forward.
For anybody who doesn't know, UA is underage, so basically on the previous server, was anybody under the age of, was it 16?
16, yeah.
16, yeah. They got their own role, which basically prevented them entering any of the channels that had like adult stuff, because there was like a porn channel and stuff like that was on it that would just, obviously you don't want fucking kids entering that shit.
Yeah, the other thing is we've kind of yeeted those porn channels. It's kind of a pain to manage.
See, it was nice back when, like, I wasn't on Instagram, when you could just click into it and it's like, we'll see what tits people are posting. You just go through it and you're like, oh, that's nice. But now I have Instagram and just like tits everywhere. I just follow a lot of like titty pages. I opened up my Instagram in front of the missus there the other day and I was scrolling and she's like, is it literally just all women and dogs? And I was like, yeah, what more does a man want?
Yeah, that's like the best shit. Yeah, there's also 2 music bots, and there's 2 sets of voice channels right now. It's going to be very much adaptable to when the community comes in and starts suggesting things and giving ideas. But there is channels for specific Ducky content. So main channel, podcast, and then other.
Very good.
People can talk about the podcast, and you can also have people throw questions in there, so it's not all on Twitter.
So basically like the old server, but a few new bells and whistles.
Yeah.
So yeah, I reckon we could probably leave it there. I was just going to say thanks very much for Garkin for coming along and sharing some Discord stories with everybody.
And torturing you.
And torturing me. Hoping they all enjoy it.
Can't wait for everyone to be like, oh, who the fuck's Garkin?
The vast majority of people do know. 3,000 people in that server. It's fair to say you're going to have a lot of people familiar with you.
Yeah.
So I'm going to wrap this one up here. Thanks everybody for listening. Next week it's going to be a solo podcast. I think you'll know when I release it. Anyway, thanks everybody for listening. And I will catch you, lads and ladies, in the next one.
Bye.